Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy Decodes. Sit back and enjoy as we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole and into the unknown.
Hello and welcome to today's show where I'm joined by Michelle Gray, who is a paranormal consultant stroke medium from Texas. Hello and welcome to the show. Can you not hear me? Oh. Can anyone else hear me? Oh, don't need this now. Nicole, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ah, right. Oh, it's all good. It's Michelle.
Oh.
Michelle's having issues.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I was too. It booted me out. I had to log back into StreamYard and everything.
Yeah, I noticed that. This should be going out on Instagram. I have set it to go out, but I don't know how Instagram does live. It's a new thing, so yeah. But anyway, here we are.
Cool. Hi, everybody.
So, do you want to tell them what we was talking about before Michelle comes on? What we was talking about off air?
With the memberships?
Yes.
Okay. So, Andy has 5 memberships?
10 in total.
10. Okay, 10 total memberships to the YouTube channel to give away.
But I'm doing 5 tonight.
So 5 tonight.
Yes.
So we're going to ask a question, and the first person to type it in the chat will win the answer.
Yeah. And I'll literally do it on screen as it goes. But we'll do that as we go through it. So, hello, Michelle, and welcome to the show. Don't know what happened. Don't know. Just something going on.
You know what? It does that when I have to copy the link. Sometimes when I don't drop straight through the StreamYard app, when I drop the link, it did it to me and Suzette the other day on her show on Paranormal Happy Hour. There was no volume when I dropped the link, but when I actually go through StreamYard, there's no problems.
So have you downloaded the app for StreamYard?
I have. But
I downloaded it today, but it's only for if you're a guest.
Yeah.
You can't do it if you're hosting, which is a bit silly, but anyway.
I know, wonky, but it's just a rough set. And it doesn't matter if you do it 1,000 times before. It's the minute the show starts.
100%.
Our volume.
Every single time.
No, every time. It's just like my motto now. Come in silent and then come back loud.
Yeah. What more could you want? It's perfect.
I like to say the technical difficulties are just people getting sucked down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely
it's
something
my
like
excitement. It just blows it out. So
right. I will ask you the first question.
Okay.
When did you realize that you could do clairvoyancy?
Ooh, I'm going to say in my 20s, but I didn't know that's what it was. I thought I was crazy. I thought I had schizophrenia.
Oh.
But I knew in my teen years that I could see things before they happened. Like I remember the the time I really remembered, my good friend and I were walking around the track, and I said, "Oh, he's going to spill paint all the way down him. It's going to look horrible." And then the janitor literally, paint just went all over him. And it wasn't it wasn't like a manifestation or anything like that. It was just the first time, and we were like, "Oh, teenagers, oh, look at that. Look what, it really happened." And just little things like that throughout time. But there's always been weirdness since I was born. Night terrors from birth. So there was
Really?
always stuff.
Do you think that's connected to your
Absolutely.
abilities then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From what the research I've done and spoken to people, I believe it's, they say that when you're a baby, you still have memories of your past lives. And then as you get older, you lose the memories. I think that people that have abilities, I think in a lot of us, that we still have the memories of maybe, what happened. And we don't know how fast we're reincarnated either. What if we literally just died and you go from that body into the new body being born? What if it's that fast? I could still have been having nightmares about however I had just died in the past life. So, we just don't know. And I've always dreamed. I've always been a dreamer. Never had a good dream.
Really?
Until I was in my 40s, I never had a good dream. There were always horrific dreams that there's no reason a little kid would have, because I'd never seen things like that. I wasn't exposed to it. I was very sheltered. So
did you keep a diary of these dreams?
No.
No.
I wasn't a diary keeper.
No. But you can remember the majority of them.
Oh yeah. And I would have the same dreams constantly. I had the same dream from the time I was little enough to not even know how old I was up until I was a teenager. Same two dreams. They never changed. It was the same things. And
it's almost more like a memory than
right. One of them was really, it was I was in like cattails or some really tall grass, and I was actually watching. It sounds very witchy when I say cauldron, but it was like a large cauldron style pot, and people were cooking things in it. And my sister and I, who I don't have a biological sister, but my sister and I were crouched down in there, and somebody grabbed us and threw us out of the weeds. And I remember every time waking up because I was jerking from being thrown out of the weeds. And it was very vivid. There was full color, smell, sound, and whatever they were doing around the large pot outside. They were speaking in a dialect I don't know. So I knew that I knew it, but I don't know it. You know what I mean?
You knew it in the dream. You knew you could understand it there.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like a past life regression to try to see if that had anything to do with it?
I haven't been brave enough yet. I haven't. There's a lot. And it's like, do you really want to know? Yeah. Like the things that I see, even to this day, between sleep and wake, those, gruesome things that I don't even watch horror movies. Like these gruesome things. Do I really want to know? What if I was the one doing them? They're very much first person. How do I know that I didn't do them or have some part in them? What if I was some evil, person that did these things? I don't know.
Yeah. And these dreams could be flashbacks of what was going on.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. Looking at it at that angle.
Yeah, because that could mess you up, like psychologically, knowing that that's what you did in a past life.
Because horror has always hit me differently than I see other people. They are like, "Oh, it's not real," but to me, every gruesome act, it hits me so hard and so deep. Like, you don't understand, that can really happen. You don't understand, that really happens. Like, and I've always thought of it that way. So that makes me think, do I look at it that way because of the things that have happened in past lives? Because I was extremely sheltered. Even into my adult years. So I just don't know. And then I'm having some things like one life has came through, and I'm not quite ready to talk about that yet. But I was burnt. I mean, I wasn't like strapped to a tree or anything, but I was literally lit on fire.
Wow.
So in my whole home, everything, I mean, the smells of it, I mean, everything. And I know these smells because I've smelt these smells my whole life.
Yeah.
And then I knew my 46th year was going to be, a lot of things were going to come to a head, and they really, really have. So many things have opened up, and I'm not quite done yet. But just the images, they all came through, and the little things people had told me through the years. I sense this, I feel this, you know. And I, for a long, long time, I just thought it was hocus pocus, you know, whatever, sure, okay. And then when that comes through, I mean, I had to sit down. I was actually in the shower, and it just all came through, and I was like, I had to sit. It was so much information and so many emotions. I don't think people think about emotions.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I lived, you know, I did that. I lived. That was my home. I helped people. How could you, I mean, the betrayal. And then there's a woman here actually in town that the minute I saw her, I literally wanted to bury her and have tea on top of her body. It was that strong. The minute I felt betrayed, I felt, and I never understood, but I kept telling everybody, I don't understand why I hate this girl. Because I'm not a hater. I just don't hate people. You know, even if I don't like them, I'm just going to stay away from you. But this is like such a deep, long feeling. And then the more I was around her, I really don't like her as a human in this life. But in another life, I always saw a trail of time, you know, that she and I had just kind of bumped against each other. And when I finally, the last flash, when I really meditated, I really got into it, I focused on it, and I focused on the crowd of people that I could see through the window. She has extremely orange wavy hair, and I've come from strong Scottish descent. Like I'm 8 crests in the Highlands. So I'm sure that this time was when I was in the old land, and I can see her hair. She's all of about 4 foot, nothing. And I can see her hair at the side of a shoulder, not her face, but I know when I focused in that it was her. So when I saw her, I know that even before I knew what was going on, it was all that betrayal had came back, and it's just crazy. So, you know,
it's do you think you end up next to each other, you know, in this life again after that?
Yes. And we had never bumped across each other in all the years that I've been in the town that I'm in now. And it just so happened the paranormal group that I started out with, the first one that I ever came out to, she was brought into it by the guy, and he's like, I want you to meet my, no. He invited me to a music festival after my divorce. And she walks up, and everybody's like, what is going on with Michelle? Because obviously it was on my face that, you know, I wanted to make unalive her. and so I just kind of stayed back. You know, there might have been a lot of thirstiness going on at that music festival. So I decided to just not do anything at the time. And but then we had no choice because we're from the same town. So he brought her, he said, she's going to join the group. And I was like, not with me in it. That's not going to work at all. But it's just a really weird thing. And she knows I don't like her from day one. And there's just some really odd things. Like, I don't think she knows, just like I didn't know, because she's done some looks and things that were incredibly familiar. Like, you know, like you've had amnesia, and then all of a sudden you get little blinks.
Like a trigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of triggers. Of triggers.
I've got a question for you. Do you think then that, you know, when you first meet someone and for some reason, like you've just said, you get an instant dislike to that person, do you think that then that's possible that you've known them in a previous life and you didn't get on, and that's why you don't like them, but obviously you don't know the reason behind it?
I think it's probably about 50-50. I think probably half the people that you come across that you're just like, but I think the other ones are just, if people would listen to their gut, we're all made to know good or evil. We're all know to make to know fight or flight. We all know this, but we rationalize. We have a tendency of rationalizing politeness. Oh, well, they make my skin crawl, but I don't want to embarrass anyone. I don't want to embarrass myself. I'm going to be cordial. If they make your skin crawl, there's a reason they're making your skin crawl.
Yeah.
If the minute they walk up and you want to pluck their eyes out, there's a reason why you want to pluck their eyes out. So maybe you should probably just leave. I'm thumbs up in my 4-year-old grandson. Everyone else knows, but I'm watching him. It's his turn. So he's on my headphones over there, and we got to do a quick thumbs up for Paw Patrol every once in a while.
Yeah, see, he's got Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
He's got a better deal, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And Nana's Bose speakers, because I couldn't find her his $10 headphones. So Nana's a little nervous with him having those Bose on his head.
You know they're going to be going back home with him, don't you?
They're going to be. No, they're not. I bought those in the airport. They probably cost more than my truck.
Jeez.
But we're good.
So Michelle, if you think that people in past lives, you can have kind of a negative feeling towards them in this life, what are your thoughts on the whole idea of soulmates and everything like that?
I think that in more than one way, people bump against each other in each lives. I think that, number one, I think magnetism, animal magnetism, that lust and passion, I think it's just goes throughout life, whether you're going to be with them or not. But there's that one that you're so familiar with that the minute you meet them, it's like you've never been apart. And whether it be relationship wise or otherwise, and everything just goes brilliantly. I think that you've already been there. You've already had that comfortable experience, because I don't think it's natural for two people to be able to have, intimate relationships of any type instantly off the bat without have already done that. It's just against human nature to not be nervous at all. But if you meet someone and you're not nervous and you're just like, oh, I'm so glad to see you, then I think that it's without us knowing that we miss them. I have a friend like that. He's kind of my spiritual twin. And the minute I saw him, it was like I wanted to cry. I just run up to this man that I'd only spoken to on the phone, and I hugged him because it was like a brother that I hadn't seen in millennia. So, and I do believe, and he also feels that he's protected me. So we think that he may have been like my big brother or something like that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So have you had any out-of-body experiences?
I think I did.
Oh, are you going to share it?
I will. It was actually a girlfriend of mine. She calls me and she says, I had the strangest thing happen last night. And I go, really? How about that? Yeah. Let's talk about yours first. And she's like, oh no, yours are way better. Always way better. I was like, no. I was in bed and I wake up falling, just like, not that, the thing where you're falling asleep and you like jerk, that spasm.
Yeah.
Like it scared the cats and they jumped off the bed. I sound like a crazy cat lady when I say that. I don't have a whole hassle. I have two moderately sized felines that sit at the end of my bed. But I woke up and the cats were just like, what just happened? Like, this is insane. And they just stared at me. They stood away from the bed and they just looked at me.
Oh,
where did you come from? And she said she also that night around the same time got woke up from falling into her bed also. And so we don't know what was going on with that. And I've woke up all the time. Granted, I have ADD, so I'm always bouncing into things, but I've woke up with handprints on my arms before when there's no reason for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what's going on with all of that. So
have you ever tried to control it?
No. Why?
No.
I'm not being hurt. I mean, I'm clumsy. Who's to say I'm not clumsy in another plane or in an alien ship? I could have tripped over my own feet there too and someone grabbed me. Maybe they're just a little bit stronger than the average mate, So as long as I'm not coming back with holes in me or my hair cut short, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
Well,
think
good.
because it's physically appearing on your body, it may be something paranormal, like a spirit or something like that?
you know, I have a pretty okay, so when I got my house, I had bought the shell of my house. I have a tiny home, and my dad and I were gonna do it together. Well, after I designed my house, my father died. So I my axis was gone. You know, my world was floating after that. I didn't realize that he was literally what I spun my world on. And
Yeah.
so I just dug right into this house. And I came in here and I sat and I said, you are not allowed in this house. Within this structure is my sanctuary. I know that you guys are gone, but I know that you know grief. Whether you're alive or dead, you understand grief. It is absolutely everyone understands grief, whether it be a pet, a human, a favorite toy. Everyone understands grief. And I said, for now and forever, you are not welcome within this structure. I will meet you outside if you need to talk, but you are not welcome in here. I need to sleep and eat and have a sanctuary because I have got to have time to grieve. And if you do not do this, I will be done with all of you. I will never speak to another spirit. I will never acknowledge anything if you do not give me my sanctuary. And I've had absolutely no problem. I had a larger man. That's a whole nother weird story that just happened. I heard him on my porch. I just built a 20-foot porch on the side of my house. On my 36-foot house, I just built a 20-foot porch. Say you're Texan without saying you're Texan. And so I heard the heavy footsteps, but my Ring cameras didn't go off. And I was like, how did my neighbor figure out I had to do that without, setting my cameras off? So I look out and there's no one out there. So then I come in the house and I feel a very strong presence in here. And I said, listen, bud, I know you ain't got the memo yet, but this is a sanctuary. You're not welcome in here. If you'll go outside when I'm done what I'm doing, I'll come outside and I'll talk to you. So I finished up what I was doing. I went outside. I sat down. I said, all right, spirit, I'm here. What do you want to talk about? And I didn't hear anything from him. So I had talked to Jen Sullivan that night. I was like, something weird was going on. And she was like, ooh, keep me posted. So then I go to bed and I wake up and I call her and I said, you won't believe what I researched. When I woke up, I had King James and demon in my head. And I was like, well, that's odd. Did you guys know that King James was a witch hunter? The one that wrote the King James version of the Bible? Or had it wrote? Yes, he wrote books about demonology. I had no idea.
Wow.
So that spirit, I'm assuming it was him. He never spoke to me, but I woke up with the information. And that's usually what happens is whenever I feel a presence and then I'll go to sleep and I'll have something in my head. So I looked it up and he was a witch hunter before he ever commissioned the King James version of the Bible to be wrote. I'd never heard that. And
well, didn't he change words in the Bible from like prisoner to witch just to kind of get that point across?
Man, let me tell you. I've seen some stuff that is a huge debate. Like we could literally have a whole half a day show on that. And just
go on, then.
I mean, I may get burnt again, but
Really chill then.
It's like it was very nice knowing y'all. But if I end up burnt to my tree outside, y'all know who did it. But it tells you right in the title. He didn't hide anything. He says it's King James's version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to read it and I'm going to take from it and I'm going to learn from it. But then I want to go one step back. Let's go to the Bible that was translated from. Let's go to the text that was let's not just stop at the first person. It's like you tell someone to research and they go on YouTube and watch one video. Well, I want you to watch 10 videos from 10 different people from 10 different places And then let's compare notes and see what is uniform with it. So, but even as a child, I was always like, at first I was super Christian, like little bitty toddler, like Jesus loves me and everything. And then as I got older, things just didn't make sense. How can this God of love and peace and all of this stuff allow all of these gruesome things? So, you know, it started out just young, and then the communion, I could never do that. I could just the eating of the bone and drinking of the you know, the blood, just ugh. And a girlfriend of mine, I never thought about, if you just take that out of Christianity and someone said, I want you to eat this cracker with no flavor that tastes, you know, it signifies bone, and I want you to drink this liquid that signifies blood, you think they were a witch. You think it was a cult.
Yeah.
If you take it out of Christianity and don't give it any background, and you just say, here you go, here's a little snack, this stick out your tongue and we're gonna stick some bone on there, and then here's some liquid and this signifies blood. And she was raised a pagan, and she said that's a ritual. That's
Well, yeah.
I mean, and I was like, I never thought of it. I just knew it always, like, that's my bathroom trip. If y'all are doing that, I'm hanging out in the bathroom for 20 minutes till I hear some singing, and then I'll come back out. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But
and they lost me at the same time, when how can a God that's so loving and so, you know, accepting of everybody's sins, no matter what they did, as long as they said they're sorry, condemn a not baptized baby to hell? Or, you know, say the animals don't have souls. Like, that was the point where I was like, nope.
Yep, me too. How old were you when you started doing that?
Oh, it's probably like early teens.
Yep, me too. 8, 9, 10. I was like, wait a minute, you're going to tell me that those tribal people we just learned about in school that have never talked to a human other than their tribesmen, they're going to hell? They how could they know about God? How could they go to hell?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Nope, can't get on board with that.
No.
I've never been religious. Did it at school, religious education and that, but it was about all different ones across the globe. But I never interested me, to be honest. So,
and I mean,
I have to go through and sit in the Sunday school and everything. And...
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I did go to Sunday school a couple of times, but it was only for the biscuits and orange juice.
Oh, that's
you
funny.
like the blood in the bone?
No, he just wants.
No, this was like packet of custard creams and fresh orange. So
that's all. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a true story, by the way.
That's funny.
I did not learn anything.
You got the color. I mean, you got to use your crayon skills. Some bad crayon.
I just remember eating biscuits and drinking orange juice.
He's like, I'm just here for the food.
That's it. Pretty much, yeah.
Just
it was one of my mates that lived across the road. He wanted to go. So it was like, go on then.
Screaming off.
Go on, then we'll go get some cookies.
Got a couple of questions for you. So, Nicole, do you want to do the first one? I'll put it on the screen for you, make it easier.
I'm on my phone. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
This is from Agarty. Question is, do you ever see horrible things when you read someone and want to end the reading?
Yes, I definitely do that. I actually, unfortunately, I see, most of the time I see affairs. And that's hard. And then, so yeah, sometimes I have to stop and go, the reading is going unpleasant. It's going to get darker than what you're wanting.
Yeah.
Would you like me to go on? Or would you like me to go on the lighter side of the reading? And some people are like, yes, I've got too much going on. I don't want to hear it. But usually it's, no, I'm fine. I can handle it. And then afterwards they're like sobbing. I'm handing them tissues and baby wipes for their makeup. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, it can't be good.
So yeah. And then sometimes I'll see, one time I actually saw a death coming.
Oh.
And I don't tell those. I feel like it would be misuse of my abilities to actually foresee a death. because that it's not my place. To me, that feels out of line. Just because you feel it or have a reading, you should not always relay it. You don't have to do it. It's not going to help the person. And maybe events will change the outcome. We don't, at least myself, I don't know how that works. I don't know if I tell you that your significant other is going to die, and then you go, oh my God, you're going to die. And then that may actually cause it where maybe they're going to change the events and maybe it won't even happen. So I don't mess with death that way. The only time I've ever done that was I went with my ex-husband just at the beginning of the relationship to a funeral, and I shook his pastor's hand, and it was instant reading. And so I kept my mouth shut, and I got in the truck, and I was like, so, does your pastor have anything going on? And he's like, oh, what do you mean? And I was like, has he been ill? And he goes, oh, well, he's had, he's in remission. And I go, yeah, he's going to be gone within the year. Wow. And 8 months later, he died. So, yeah. So, and after that one, I was like, no more. I'm not going to read death anymore. And I'm not going to tell anyone about death anymore. It just feels very unnatural to do that. Like, it's not my place. Even if I have the knowledge, it's not my place to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then one time I was very irresponsible. You have to have a sense of responsibility to having gifts. I was in Target. My kids were still young. And it was school supply time, which is literally like nervous breakdown all the time. And I'm standing there and I'm feeling this grief behind me. And I turn around to the old man and I said, I'm so very sorry about your wife. And he says, oh, did you know her? And at that minute, I was like, shoot. I said, no, sir, I didn't know it. And I realized that at that moment, by me not keeping myself in check, even though I was being kind, that man was holding it together through Target with his little coffee. Aww. He was holding it together. She probably always bought the coffee. And that may have been the first time since she died that he actually had to go buy his own coffee. And so he's just holding it together in that line, just trying to get home. And I irresponsibly, even if it was kind, spoke out of term where I should have kept my mouth shut, and I caused him unneeded grief.
Yeah.
And so I have to hold myself. When I'm weak, I don't read. I will cancel readings. I will not go to the corporate side because I do work with the corporate side of the world with my abilities. And I just tell them I just can't do it. It's just when you break that level of responsibility, you just can't do it. And I just won't do it.
No, I totally get that.
Yeah. I still feel about an inch tall from doing that to him.
Yeah. So, no, I think I'd be the same, to be honest.
Yeah, it's you shouldn't do that.
No. Yeah. But I suppose it's part of learning how to do it, isn't it, really? Like finding your own way, finding your feet.
Well, and that happened before. I had gone to speak to one lady named Charlotte Mann. She's in Tyler. And I had gone to speak to her, and she had told me a few things, but that was my first experience. My family kept everything quiet. I knew that my mother had feelings, like empath stuff, and I knew my grandmother could do some crazy stuff, but everybody said, no. They spoke about ghosts. Oh, we heard a ghost walk or ghost sat on the bed or whatever. So that was kind of normal. But to actually say I have abilities or you have abilities or whatever, you just didn't do that. It was the only Holy Ghost was the only ghost allowed, So, yeah. So, I didn't really start to my mid 30s and now into my 40s that I'm actually out in a circle of people like, all of you guys, that it's free range to talk about all of the weird things that have happened to me in my life and start putting the puzzle pieces together. Yeah.
Cool. I've got another question for you.
Sure.
When you do readings, do you ever pick up on cryptids in that person's reading?
No, not in the reading, but it started out, I started noticing, I call them the others because I didn't have a name for anything.
Right.
But the others had no vibrations. Like everything has a vibration. Everything has a vibration to me, whether it's my vibration bouncing off of them or them creating their own vibration. Everything has a vibration, but there are some who don't.
Oh.
And they actually frighten me. I worked in a club, and I would read or whatever until I had to get up and work. I would just hang out like underneath the pool light before business got busy. And a man came in and, you know, they're checking his ID and doing all this kind of stuff. And it was like, I was drawn. So it was the craziest thing. It was almost like I wasn't even my own person. It was like, I got up and I went and stood around the side of the office and I was just looking at this man and he's at the door and he's looking at me. And there was no sound, no vibration. I used to joke about if there was vampires, I met one. Because everything was cold, everything was quiet, but oddly enough, everything was peaceful. It was so peace like I have never felt before. Like I crave it. It's bad, but I crave that peace. Sometimes. You know, just, and I don't know if it's just the silence or it was almost like the perfect cool night. You know, like you step out and everything smells crisp and perfect and calm and there's no real sound. Even everything is quiet. It was looking into that man's eyes. And it was the best and the creepiest thing I've ever in my life. And he just got his ID back, turned around and walked out.
And do you think he actually had no vibration, or do you think it was just blocked you, whatever it was, or whoever he was from reading him?
You can feel a block. You can feel it. It's almost like a hiccup that won't hiccup. It's like a, you know, kind of a take your breath for a second, kind of hit something. For me, I don't know about if everybody else is that way, but with him, it was just no vibration. Like, absolute no vibration. And I've came across other people, but no one to that intensity.
No.
I don't know what he was.
But what it's funny because when you said that, the first thing I thought was a vampire. Straight away I thought vampire.
Me too. It's the very first thing I thought.
I don't even know why. I just
I mean, I don't say that they
nothing else
exist, but I can totally believe that they did. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I tell everybody. Why not? Why do you have to believe this or that? Why not? Why can't it?
Yeah.
Even if you're
that's it.
Why can't you say
why
not?
Yeah. Why can one thing exist but then not
exactly?
Why can not something else?
Yeah.
That's how I am with a lot of things.
Yeah. How can a horse go for a foot tall? Yeah.
Who am I to say that Bigfoot and Dogman and UFOs aren't real?
Hey, all I know is if anybody finds a moderately literate, very calm Bigfoot, I love hairy men, I would like to talk to him. Send him my way. I like tall and hairy, so they can just send him to me.
I have a Beauty and the Beast thing going on.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Not that grumpy beast, but he didn't have to go back to a human. He could have stayed. We would have had a very non-intimate relationship, but we could have danced all day, played with the snow, played with the roses. I'm good with that.
Yeah. So have you then read someone who you felt wasn't human?
No, I can't say I have. I don't think that they need to ask us. I honestly think they're the bottom of the line.
But I was thinking more they was trying to read you and you're thinking you're reading them.
I don't think they need to come to us to read us. I think they can just be around us to read us. I don't think the big feet people care. And the aliens, I think we're just their reality show. And, you know, anything else, I don't think they bother with us. Like, why? Unless we're hurting their people. And then I think they will. But I honestly, I mean, I see all these things and all these people talking about how bad they want to hurt us and stuff like that. Don't you think they would have already?
Yeah.
It's not like we're strong. If they wanted to do that, they would have already done it. Now, if we start hurting them, oh yeah, that's it. But as long as we stay delusional and we don't cause harm, I don't think they want to do that. Why would any society, or why would anybody want to do that? I think that a lot of the cruelty just stays with us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like a toddler who can't speak. You know, they get aggressive. You know, we don't understand things. We don't have the answers that we need, so we get aggressive because we have to fight for power, because we don't have all the knowledge that we need to be able to coexist properly. And now it's just, we have the bloodthirst. So now there's nothing to do about it.
No. Got a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
Do you want to do them? Oh, screen wasn't working then. Do you want to do this one, Nicole?
So this is from Joe. Does Michelle ever get messages for chatters when she's doing a live?
Is he talking about spirit chatter?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
For people in like the chat, the people who are watching the live stream. Maybe.
Oh, I don't generally. I'm not able to connect with them because I can't hear them. It usually goes through when, like, if I was speaking to you, Nicole, then I could link in with you, and then I can do that, which I can control that pretty well now, where I used to not. I would link in with everybody, but I usually just do it for helping paranormal people with their investigations. So yeah, I consult the majority of my career. So
yeah, I read that question wrong in my head. I thought it said from chatters, not for chatters. So yeah, ignore me. Don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, one day it might happen, but as of yet, I need to hear the person, and it doesn't even have to be a visual. I just need to hear them, and then I can tend to link in. And a person who wants answers will open up for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah. What you got?
Well, so I told my son last night, I was like, okay, we're going to be interviewing a medium. What do you think I should ask? He goes, he wants to know how you perceive spirits. Like, do you see them like a regular person? Do you just get a picture in your mind's eye?
Okay, so there's a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of different spirits. There's not just one type of spirit. So I do see the black shadowy people. Yeah. And I also see very light people that are just literally of light. They have no shape necessarily, unless it's maybe an arm. But the black silhouettes is what they look like to me. They have full everything, noses, everything. And then it's a mist. So some come to me as, like, it seems to be the darker entities come in like a deep fog, and they tend to swirl and envelop me. I just had this in Austin at an interview, or a thing I did with Night Owl. And I actually had the evil swirling me to a point where I reached up and I could actually feel his legs, his hip. I was sitting Indian style on the floor, and I could make him out that way. So there's so many different ways. And a lot of the time in my readings, there is no form. I just have answers. It's like I completely open up, and what comes through, it comes out, and then I'll work through it to get answers. But your kid had a good question. Smart kid.
Yeah. He's been getting into it with me, doing investigations a little bit here and there.
Nice. Yeah, I don't do a lot of investigations. I wish I did, but I just don't. I don't know why.
No.
Well, if you're ever up in the East Coast and by New York, you can come with us.
Hey, I might
bring you on one.
I'll be getting my conversion band running again next year. So me and Rosie, we're going to hit the road and do some investigating around the U.S. hopefully. So
awesome.
We'll see.
There you go. Yeah. You need to come to the UK as well.
I actually am going to be in London in April, I think.
Oh, not too far from me.
Yeah, Jenny Sullivan's going to fly over from Ireland, and we're going to pop around. So maybe we'll make our way over there to you. So At least
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Sorry?
I said that's the plan at least, but you know.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, just keep me updated and see
Definitely.
what we can start out. That'd be cool. Sorry, got another question, and this is from Dogman. Oh, the Dogman UK, I should say. And he's asking, are you always right with your reading, please? Can you answer?
I would like to say yes. I generally have about an 85 to 86% confirmation rate. It's not always immediate, and some people aren't ready to accept, so you can't get confirmation.
Right.
Sometimes confirmation has came about 3 or 4 months later. I was at an investigation one time, and somebody had came through. It was a resident. Somebody had came through to pick up a couch, and I was like, it's going to sound odd, but are you missing a pickup truck? And he was like, yes. What do you know about it? I was like, whoa. I didn't steal your dang truck. I'm just going to tell you. And, I had told him a bunch of things, and his wife was like, oh, let's get out of here. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just want to put out there just like a public service announcement that when a medium is talking to your husband, she does not want your husband. She is just relaying what a ghost has said. She is not hitting on your husband. That is not a pickup 101. Hey, your grandmother's behind you is not the new mediumship pickup line. So just get that out there for all the countries.
Yeah.
That's anything, I think, when waitresses are serving, and God forbid they ask him what he wants to drink.
Right.
Or, people picking up their prescriptions, like, nobody wants your man. It's
No,
okay.
I didn't even want my own husband's. I don't want yours. I mean, really? No, I'm good. But so that's the answer that I got for that. But it's pretty high percentage rate, and it's painful to not get the confirmation. It's kind of like wearing a wet coat when you don't get confirmation. That's how I know when things are correct. If I'm like, we're all out in investigation, and I'm like, oh, I think that it has to do with a name, Eloise, or I'm going through it, and I'm still going through it, and they're like, oh yeah, that's my grandma. I'm like, no, that's still not it. Because it's not dropping off. The minute it's correct, I get confirmation from someone, and the weight drops.
Right. So do you ever get anyone coming back, like kicking off because what you've told them and it's happened, and they wasn't ready for it, or not impressed, or?
Yeah. I had a guy actually get physical one time.
Ooh.
Well, it was one of those where I said, it's gonna get dark. Do you really want to know more? And he was like, yeah, I can handle it. I'm a man. And I was like, well, this is a very intimate thing about your wife. Do you still want to go on? Of course, he said yes. And I was like, well, this also involves a gentleman that's very close to you. Do you still want to go on? And he was like, I have to now. So then I told him that when he leaves to go to work, then his best friend and his wife read books together.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And
without reading books.
Yeah. And so he went and talked to his wife and best friend about their literary moments, and they both denied. And he came back to me, and I said, I'm not wrong about this, and my Glock says to leave. So he decided between my gun and myself that it was time to leave. But I mean, he came very aggressive. So and a lot of times I'll try to speak to a person first before I will schedule them. I'll be like, yeah, let's just have a brief moment. And if I think it's going to be something messy like that, I never have time.
Right.
I just cannot fit them in. And if they get nasty with me about it, I'll say you might want to put some hidden cameras up, and that's where I'm going to leave it at. Or I'll say you might want to, not share your passwords for your computers at work, or, and I'll just say, I will give you this tidbit for free. This is where you need to be proactive in your life, but I can't help you any further. So that's about
putting them in the right direction without actually telling them what they need to do. Sort of thing.
I mean, after that guy doing that, I thought, this is dangerous. So I don't need to get into people's love lives like that.
Yeah, that gets messy.
Yeah, it gets very messy.
Yep. Right. Should we do a question?
Sure.
Go on. Who wants you? You sort out between you. I'll just sit here and wait.
Oh, we come up with the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything.
What are the questions about? Anything?
Anything.
What if I don't know the right answer myself?
It doesn't matter. I'll Google it.
Okay. Okay. What is everyone's theory, I guess, on the Loch Ness Monster? What is it? What is Nessie?
Right. So the first person to message in who is not a member will receive membership. So just sit in.
Well, while we're waiting, let's talk about what your theory on Nessie is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I think that the water level was lower during prehistoric times.
Yeah.
And I think that whenever the world was doing what the world was doing and dinosaurs were dying, I think there was a cave and these dinosaurs got in there, and then the water level over time raised and they acclimated and grew fins and things like that. And that's just a dinosaur. And I think that they're in that Mount Loch Ness or whatever. I think that it's just an animal or dinosaur that has just acclimated over time. That's my theory.
Right.
Good one.
Because I mean, we will acclimate over time, and they've had plenty of time to acclimate. So as long as they didn't kill off in the first part, then
Yeah, they evolved just like anything else.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Yep. So we're just waiting for there's loads of answers. It's faked by two boys back in the day, a demented fish, Prestwick sea serpent. There the answers we've got so far.
Personally, I love the demented fish. That is like a ding ding for me. I'm just saying.
Should we do? Who said demented fish? Where's it gone? I can't even find it now. Oh, fire spirit. Okay. Yeah, he's already a member though, so I can't. Unfortunately. Sorry.
I guess maybe the boys would be good because maybe they knew. How did they know it was two boys? Let's give us some clippings here. Were they from that area? Like, how did they know that? Did inquiring minds want to know?
He's put it was me, as in was him.
It's like, was you were one of the naughty boys?
Probably was.
With the speedboat.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Speedboat with some rope at the back and a couple of balloons or something. I don't know.
Funny.
It could be anything.
Rubber ducky.
Oh, so Terry's put a gentleman on his deathbed from the area claimed it.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, there's some facts right there. So maybe are they members?
He's not.
Maybe he should be recorded.
He will be in about 1 minute.
Congratulations.
When I learn how to do it. Because all this is new. Oh, wait.
Is a futuristic present. It's like once we figure out how to wrap it, then you get it.
You gifted 5 memberships.
I've just gifted 5. I don't even know how I did it. It just did it itself.
Congratulations, you got 5 memberships.
Yes, you all got membership, but I don't know what I did. I thought I could choose.
Guess not.
No, it's all right, Terry. I'll send it you separately.
Okay,
I honestly do not know what I'm doing.
This whole thing is a learning curve here.
So the 5 people that have been gifted are Dogman UK, Forrest Friend, Catherine Jones, Judy Wheeler, and to me, that's only 4.
Wasn't Catherine Jones Bridget Jones' mother's name in the movie?
I've never seen
I
that.
don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen Bridget Jones' Diary?
Bridget Jones' Diary.
No movies.
No.
So good.
Chick flick. Don't watch them.
I love
Newsflash.
seen that one.
I'm not a dude with long hair. I'm an actual chick. But shockingly enough, I know no one will be shocked. But my favorite movie is The Godfather. So
Amazing movie.
I know.
It is good.
So good. In fact, my son, when he was a teenager, he had that as my ringtone, was The Godfather, the beginning of the song.
Yeah. No, it is a good film. A really good film.
Okay.
Right. Shall we go for a break?
Sure.
Because we're coming up to the hour mark, and that'll give me 3 minutes to work out what
Figure
I've
out
just done. Because I have no idea. Not got a clue.
Sounds good.
Don't know.
Guys, in what?
You know what? I'm just going to do. I think it's just going to be random, 5 a month.
Yeah. Seems like that's how it's gonna go. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
got 3 minutes to learn anyway. So right, I'll see what I can do. See you then.
eight, seven, six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, and we are back. Found out who the fifth person was. It's Gerald from Midwest Night Watchers.
Oh, fun.
But because he's a moderator, he stays blue. So I didn't see it go green.
Cool. So 5
Should I
people.
do- Yeah, shall I do the other 5?
Sure. Why not?
Shall I?
It's the end of the month. They're for December, right? So we're like mid.
Yeah, these are this. Yeah, I've only got 3 more shows before the end of the year anyway, so
Why not?
let's do it. Right.
Do it.
Membership gifting. You ready?
All right. let's
Whoever
go.
you lucky 5 are, here we go. Done. Unlucky. Depends how you look at it. Right, so we have Baby with a Laser, Andy Byrne, Cal Ridley, and a Spiritual Odyssey, Henry E. White Jr. There you go.
There you go.
There's the 10 of you.
Nice.
That
So
last one.
don't say I don't give you lot nothing. It didn't cost me out, but it doesn't matter. Well, it does because I've got to do this every month, haven't I? So it's not. Yeah.
It's the thought that counts anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Right, so yeah, there you go. So there's 1 million green people now.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the green for?
The green's just to say you're a member, and it's the Mothman membership as well. So it's a mid one. So what I did do, just quickly, I set up a new tier. So these 2 at the moment, one $4.99, one at $8.99, where you get a little bit more than. Well, you get more than you do on the other. Obviously, the more you pay, the more you get back. But
Right.
I set up a new one. It's $1.99 a month, but that was because a couple of people were saying that the $3.99, whatever the prices are, is a little bit too much to be paying each month when they've obviously got other stuff going out. So I've done one for £1.99, more for people that want to support the show but don't really have that much money to do that. So, and that was pretty much the lowest one that you could do. So
Well,
that's on
nice.
there. Yeah, so there's 3 tiers. So the first so the tier 1 now, the $1.99 one, that's Ghost. Then there's Mothman, and then Dogman. So
Cool.
that's it.
So
don't
that's
know
a way for people to
about
support.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Support them. Send them
Mhm.
love.
Yeah.
Send
So there you go.
everybody love.
There's your 10. So in 2 weeks there'll be another 5. Oh, this only lasts for a month. It's a bit like Cinderella, isn't it? When she goes to the bar, you've only got until midnight.
Yeah.
Then you turn back into
That's
a
all
pumpkin.
right. Nothing good happens after midnight. My
Yeah.
grandmother, well, it was my great grandmother. Maybe. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Somebody, some old lady, used to tell me the only thing open after midnight was legs and liquor stores.
I know, we
Well.
don't even have a 24-hour diner around here anymore. They all closed during COVID.
Yeah, we never got ours back either. Nothing. So even Walmart closes. We were 24 hours and now.
Oh, yeah. So we
Yeah.
have a Tesco, and these, it's like Walmart, like Asda, and these 3. So you've got Tesco Express, which is a small one. Then you've got Tesco Metro, which is like mid-range. Then
Mhm.
you've got, we call it Big Tesco, and that used to be 24 hours. They shut at midnight. It used to open like 6 a.m. Monday morning,
Yeah.
and stay open till midnight on Saturday. Then they'd open Sunday for Sunday hours.
Mhm.
But even now, that's not 24 hours anymore.
Wow. Same thing with.
I just want to be able to get something to eat at like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well,
That's
what's
all.
wrong with that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
After an investigation, you want to go out with everybody
yeah.
and like get a burger or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Many times we've raided my snack packs because I still carry a little fabric lunchbox because I will get hangry at 2 hours. 2:15, don't even be around me. So I carry like I have trail mix, but then I have marshmallows because I'm not eating that non-sugared crap. So I just like pop a mini marshmallow with my granola. Yeah.
Fruit snacks are my go-to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always have to grab like a thing of like Welch's fruit snacks before an investigation.
Oh
I need a
man,
sugar
those are
rush.
so good. The lifesaver rings, the
But
lifesaver.
did you know you shouldn't eat any sugar at least 72 hours before doing an investigation?
I actually am good with the sugar. I don't eat the meat. I don't eat meat for a week. I get absolutely no readings hardly when I eat meat before I do
Yes.
investigation.
So
Yeah.
why are you not supposed to eat sugar? Because I eat sugar
It
constantly.
affects your I can't remember what it's called. It was Steve Marin that told me about it. It affects your natural response to if there's something there with the sugar. It kind of gives you your abilities. It gives you a false reading, so you're not picking up if there's anything going on. So you kind of like putting yourself in danger a little bit. I'm not saying I follow that rule because obviously I don't.
All right. Well, with no sugar on an
I-
investigation, I'd be putting everybody else in danger. So
Right. Yeah, me too. Like the minute, like I'm good the whole investigation, but the minute I stop reading, sometimes I have to literally go sleep in the car. I mean, I have got to hit a nap after that. I have to ground myself depending on the investigation, and I have got to rest because it uses every bit. If I wasn't so high on sugar, I would have fell out halfway through the investigation.
Oh yeah.
But
I have
the
a
meat,
coffee.
yeah. The meat will definitely clog me up though. It will. It's almost like putting a film on top of my feelers. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I have if I'm going out investigating locally, well, even if I'm going like some distance, I'll have a coffee. I'm not even going to tell you how many sweeteners are in it, but I have a coffee and sweeteners. I've been out and had like sweets or chocolate or whatever before and investigate, not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And things have happened. So maybe, I don't know, does it work with everyone? Does it only work with some people?
I think
Is
everyone's
it?
different. Everyone's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because I know some mediums that they'll literally eat a steak before they go out, and they're just like raring to go. Things are coming through, and I'm like, just the fact, just the meat on your breath is clogging me up. So I just can't.
Well, when me and Sober, when we went to Cannock Chase, probably just over a month ago. So we meet up in a pub. They actually know we've only been twice. They actually know us in the pub. That's bad. And we ended up having 2 full meals. I think we got a dessert as well.
Oh my god.
So we had a big steak of like gammon and eggs and all that, and then whatever we had afterwards. And we went out and we had things going on that night that we couldn't explain. So,
And I mean, do we ever know that if we didn't do this, would things come through stronger? Or if we did do this, because we're there, yes, we get things through. Maybe if we didn't do sugar, maybe more things would come through. But
that's what I was going to say.
I don't have a big problem with dark entities coming to me. I rarely get the dark ones. I get a lot of children, and I get a lot of grandmas, but the little boys, for some reason, if there's a little boy spirit, he's going to come to me. Maybe because I've got 5 grandsons. I don't know. Maybe I'm vibing that, Nana vibe. I don't know. But little boys will come. So yeah. So I don't know.
It's definitely
Nicole,
a different experience.
he takes pizza.
Yeah,
Sorry.
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Do you find? I was going to say, do you find then that because you're female that you get a different results than what males would get?
Absolutely. I think every team should have a male and a female with them at all times. Should always have a male and a female investigating together, because I've been in situations like in Glen Rose. We went to they called it an asylum, but I don't know about all that. But there was a very dominant man who wanted nothing to do with me. There was a little boy who wanted nothing to do with my male partner. I mean, we got a full rounded investigation because he and I were linked together, and there was a male and there was a female, and we don't know how old these spirits are. If you get a woman from the 50s back, she may not talk to a man. And if you get a man from the 50s back, he may not lower himself to talk to a woman, or if you get, we don't know what nationality they are, they may not want to talk to us at all. So, you have got to remember. And another thing that people don't take into consideration where you're investigating. Take in accents. Think about dialect. like I can't go up to Nicole's area and be properly saying what people are saying because I don't know the dialect of up
Yeah.
north. And she can't come down to Texas and be like, oh, he said this, this, and this, because we say things differently. It may
Yeah.
say, it may sound like, one thing, and it's a totally different word because of our accents. Like I'm from deep East Texas, and we're only an hour and a half from Louisiana. And then our people, a lot of East Texans people came down through Georgia and stayed for a while, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. So when we really get around each other, or I start obviously talking about it, then we get a real strong Georgian accent. So, we have to take into consideration the time period and the accents and slang,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I
Because you
don't,
ask people around the United States, at least, what's this?
oh, yeah.
You're gonna get 7 different answers.
Yeah. Soda pop, soda water, soda, pop, Coke. In Texas, everything's Coke. I mean,
Yeah.
But when my mom and dad got married, I was 13, and the grocery store in their tiny town said soda pop, 39 cents in the big window. And it's like, I've never even heard of soda pop. But I mean, it's just, where you're at. But I think they should take that into consideration when investigating too. Think about your region.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because it's like I'm from the northwest of the UK and I live southeast now. So it's not far. It's only like just short of 200 miles away. But there's so many different accents and change of dialect as you
Right.
travel through there. Then I know I've been down here 15 years now, but I still got the northern twang.
Right.
It's not as prominent as what it was when I first moved down here, obviously. But there's still people that say certain words. I'm like, I really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a hard time investigating in Louisiana because when you get further back, you get that strong Creole. I can't understand it. It's like listening to a really mad Scottish man, and it's like, I don't know. Can you use hand gestures of, what?
Yeah,
Because I don't know.
there's actually a guy in the chat, the Dogman UK. He's from Scotland,
And he
but
has,
I've had that because I've always drove for a living,
yeah,
and I had to drive. I'll keep it short because it's kind of going off topic. But I had to drive up to Scotland, and it's pre-sat nav, so we're just using maps and atlases.
right.
And I was delivering to this factory, and I could not find it. I didn't know what road I was on or anything. So I thought, oh, there's 2 taxi drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just outside, this Glasgow place called Parsley. Is it Parsley? Paisley? I forgot what it's called now. Paisley. And I asked these 2 taxi drivers, and they started to direct me, and I'm like, I still, even to this day, have no idea what they said to me. And one of them, he just ended up giving me his paper A to Z, so I could find it. And I was only like 5 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
But I could not understand what they were saying.
I kind of feel bad that I don't know. Like, I feel like I genetically should know what a Scotsman says because I have so many crests, I'm connected to someone. I'm like, I'm sorry, my people left and went to Nova Scotia, and then we just trickled down through time. I'm sorry that we did not stay in Scotland. Oh my gosh, can you imagine what a Spitfire it'd have been if I'd stayed in Scotland? Oh my gosh.
You'd have got rid of you straight away.
Which I actually feel like I'm kind of representing for the strength because, but it kind of fits in. If a Scottish heritage woman ever was going to live in a state, I feel like she should either be in the Bronx or be in Texas. That's it. Like those 2 locations. Because I feel like because every woman I've met from the Bronx, they're like, love their family. They got a real strong accent. They put up with no mess at all.
That's true.
And that's kind of how like true Texas women are, not the ones who are coming now. That's all I'm gonna say. Just because your mailing address says Texas on it doesn't make you a Texan. Gonna
Oh
put that.
boy,
Oh,
we're getting
right.
off topic on women from
Yeah.
the Bronx and Texas.
Yeah.
But
now.
I do have
Different breed.
between you want to watch this one then, Michelle? Between Christmas and New Year,
Yeah.
I'm doing a show with a guy. He's called Chris Meek. He does Scottish Paranormal Podcast.
Okay.
You may
Oh,
have heard of him or spoke to him.
Yeah, I think he's friends with Jenny Sullivan. I think they do a thing together, don't they? Like a show?
Don't know.
I
But
think so.
we're doing a show between Christmas and New Year. We used to do one like every 6 weeks. We started doing it on Skinwalker Ranch,
Mhm.
and then we was doing like book reviews. We did like Mothman Prophecies and that.
Yeah.
And it kind of like he got busy and I got busy, and we just never it just like spread out a bit. So we're trying to bring it back in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing a show. Nicole and Tommy can come on as well. It's not a problem. So
Oh, yeah.
it'll be good. But if you want to jump on and do a panel or something, I'll sort it out, and
Yeah.
then
Cool.
you can learn how to speak Scottish.
That'll work. But you gotta understand, you say Skinwalker Ranch, I literally turn into a kid in a candy store. I am obsessed with Skinwalker. Like I have to make myself only watch like 2 shows a month because I would
Really?
get so deep into it because there are so many things going on in that place.
Mhm.
It is like it to me, if you can imagine like in these movies where everyone comes from all different types and meets in this one summit to
Yeah.
talk about how they're not going to blow each other up. Like Skinwalker Ranch just feels like it's one of those places. Like they're like, okay, lizard people, you're in aisle 4, Bigfoots, you're over here in 6, okay, let's just please register, your said name, leave your skin at the door and just come natural. So that's just what that, because I mean, you've got aliens, you've got demons, you've got, I mean, everything. I mean, I'm
Everything.
dead out there.
Everything there is ends up in Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh yeah. I just want a remote. I mean, I just want a remote right. Like I just want to go park like a half a mile down the road and just like go for it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
see what comes through.
Have you heard of Stardust Ranch,
No.
Rainbow Valley in
Mm-mm.
Arizona?
Oh, I love Arizona.
Oh my God! You think Skinwalker's got stuff going on? I always forget the guy's name. Robert Edmonds
I'm about to look it up.
was the guy who moved in there, and just listen to, and he died I think last year, or the year before,
Oh wow.
and he's done quite a few podcasts, and just listen to any of the interviews with him talking. They're on for like 2-3 hours, but he goes into detail of from when he first moved in through the real estate company to what happened with that, to having meetings with the don't know what you call it, the International Space Federation, all these different aliens from different places, and they all had a big meet up, and yeah, it's madness.
See, the minute you started talking about that, I started having the weirdest image come through, and that's usually how my world starts with investing stuff. Is I started to see an old phonograph, like with the record playing.
Oh yeah,
I was hearing like the scratching of the record in a like the old phonograph.
Yeah,
such a weird thing to pop up in my head whenever you're talking about some haunted ranch. So now I've got to like research it to see if anything's came up about like record playing, like a scratchy kind of, and see how I do the investigations is that came through, but that could be so many things.
that rings a bell.
Does it really? Because that,
yeah, but I can't.
It hit me hard.
I can't think why.
But it could go, I could take that and I could say, okay, is it scratching? Are they hearing scratching and light music there?
Well,
is it a megaphone sound? Like there's so many things, but like even my ears are hurting now.
Yeah.
So,
well, he sorry, someone's just put in the chat. Terry's just put, didn't he claim he shot an alien? So what one of the things that he claimed that happened, well, he said that he was wherever he was in the house. It's a big house with all different like sections coming off it. He was never more than 8 foot away from a weapon of one sort of or another. So he'd be sat in the living room, either listening to the radio, which could possibly be an old type gramophone, I don't know. And he, out the corner of his eye, it's like a summer house part of it, like a conservatory. That's what I got from it.
Right.
And he'd see like these greys just stepping through, like coming through some sort of doorway or portal. And he said when he used to turn and look at them direct, they'd vanished and just poof and gone. So he got used to like just sitting there and pretending that, or just ignoring what was going on.
Right.
And then he waited for him to come through, and at one point he had a sword that fell off the back of a pickup. That's another story completely. And as these greys were approaching, he just grabbed his sword and without looking just swung out, and apparently he decapitated one of them. The other two vanished because he was always in freeze. There's never one for it's always free. And apparently he took it, put it in the chest freezer in one of the outhouses, and then it was sent away to be analysed.
Oh, and probably
And
lost.
there's a few stories that they never got it, or it's fake news. There's loads of different things. But in the last interview that I listened of his on one of the podcasts, he said, "No, we have still got it. I know who's got it. I know where it is. The tests have been done, and everything's been proven as to what I need to know, and that's all I can tell you." He goes, I could take you to the location now,
Right.
but obviously I'm not gonna.
Right.
But where it is, it's safe, and that was it.
Wow. You know, I have a theory about the threes. I've had it since I was pretty young. I think that telepathy has to work in a triangle. I think that's
Right.
a lot to do with the pyramids. I think it has to do when you get 3 people together. I think that, you know, if you have a group of friends, there's 3 friends, and you're always together, and then you start finishing each other's sentences, and you already know what the other one's thinking. I don't think it has to do with the fact that you just know them that well. I think it has to do with the fact that you've completed a triangle. You know, you've completed the pyramid shape. You've completed that. I think that shape is extremely important. Just like 3. I think 3 is extremely important. Yeah.
Me, Nicole, and Tommy. There you go.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
Right, there you go.
You complete the triangle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I just think it's very significant. The 3 number that they travel in 3s. I mean, that goes beyond the buddy system, I think. So, and I think it's horrible that he decapitated one. I'm not quite sure what that does for peace. But
I don't think because
Somebody
it was
posted that he shot the one that killed his dog
well
in the chat.
There's another story about the dog. He opened so when they moved into this ranch, there was they ended up there's some horses just roaming around, these wild horses, and there's a bit underfed and that. So they kind of like took him in, and he turned it into like a bit of a corral where people would take old or unwanted. So my electric just flickered then.
So
that was strange.
The truth.
Yeah, and then there's all these horses that there was looking after. I think they're like 40 horses.
Shelter.
Yeah, but then they started with obviously they got some guard dogs and that. I think there's either German Shepherds or Rottweilers. And they heard this noise one night and they'd gone out. I'm just trying to remember the story. Some of the details might be wrong, but they'd gone into this container unit and 2 or more of the dogs were flat, like paper, like pancakes. There's no bones, no organs, no blood. Completely flat, like they've been steamrolled.
Oh
my God.
There's another time they had loads of horses, And all these horses, again, were put in a container and they were literally stood on top of each other.
Oh, wow.
So the horses physically couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So some gone in and placed them on top of the other.
You have to come around, baby. We're about to get
So-
another guest on here, a very quiet one.
Aw.
It's fine.
You have to be
So
quiet.
good.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So,
Going quiet now.
yeah, I want to, I definitely want to check that out and
Yeah.
see who's living out there now.
I don't know who's got it now. I think his wife was still there and his son or his daughter and their partner was living out there as well. But it's Stardust Ranch in Rainbow Valley.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll definitely check
I
that
think
out.
it's just outside Phoenix.
That sounds like a place where things are going to happen. It's Stardust
Yeah,
Ranch
I
in
know.
Rainbow Valley.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, Betty.
but these men in black, phasing through metal gates. These
Wow.
Bigfoot, these Dogman, these UFOs, these greys, these tall greys, these Nordics, all sorts.
Yeah, there's so many.
Anything and everything.
There's so many that we don't even know about that they've already extincted, you know. I mean, think about, I mean, let's just go with the last 100 years. I mean, if
Mhm.
we'll, oh, at least in the US, what we did to the Indians, what else did we do? Like,
that
what else
they
did we
tell
do?
us.
Because I was reading the other day that was it the Grand Canyon? They found like pyramids and structures in the Grand
Yeah.
Canyon.
Wow.
And it's like, we are literally on top of all of this. And they're just like, no. And then, you know, you find structures. I've been in a building. I was in this one building. I don't remember what town it was. I was just going through like BFE somewhere and just was drawn to this building. And I went in there and I said, I'm feeling so many timelines within the structure of the building. Like, and I'm talking, I don't know where these rocks came from. They were not proper for the region. I don't know
Yeah.
where rocks came from. And they were, some of the building had been knocked down. So you could see within the structure. And when you look down, I was like, what even is this rock? And
Oh.
it itself radiated. And I was like, what rock radiates? I mean, what rock is gonna, I mean, it was literally like a solid vibration, like an engine. You know,
Yeah.
you would feel that vibration. And I was like, this is some Superman crap going on here. I don't want any part of it. And I was like, is it, because
Kryptonite.
my first thought was, is it radiation?
Yeah.
You know, because they
Yeah.
say you can feel high amounts of radiation. You can feel that. So I was like, I don't have the right machinery for this. I mean, I got an Ovilus with me and a cell phone. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I prepared, you know, if I can't throw a Snickers on it and deradiate it, then I got to get out of here. So I just left. And then when I went back, somebody had completely destroyed it. And the old man that lived down the road, I said, where did that building go? And he said, that's the weirdest thing. He said, sometimes people will just come in with these big trucks and take everything away and make it look like nothing ever existed. And I thought, it's not being developed. It's just turned back into grass. The building was beautiful aside from this one little broken part. So was that some kind of cover up? You know, do they go around and say, oh, we found this, you know, I'm sure they watch all of us, but
Yeah.
you know, it's already destroyed, so don't take any more buildings down on account of me. But yeah, I mean, it's as if it never even existed. So it's pretty crazy.
I don't know what's going on. She's gone. My computer kicked in and then Nicole vanished.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've no idea, to be honest with you. So while we wait for it to come back on, is there any other part of the paranormal world that you're really interested in, but you've not got around to researching?
I mean, there's so much. There are things I don't even know about yet. I still consider myself pretty green. I don't think anybody will ever know enough.
No.
would actually like to know, and this is pretty simple, I just haven't done it yet, I think. When I'm getting the readings, I would like people to be, using the temperature, the recording, everything to see, is there, because a lot of it, like I said, my readings, it's just, I'm told things. It's not like they're whispering in my ear and then I'm having some dialogue. It's literally, tell this person this. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I would like to know, is there some kind of temperature changing here above me? Can you see anything? Is it like almost like a telepathic thing? I would like to know how I get my information, because the majority of it is just, I didn't have the knowledge. I do have the knowledge. I give the knowledge. It's confirmed. So I would very much like to know
where it's coming from.
What is going on around me when I'm getting the readings, because rarely is anyone, or at all, I think, has anyone done that when I'm there. Now, remember, I haven't done a lot of actually going out to these places and investigating, because I'm usually a big old chicken and I'm scared to go. But I do plan next year to get out and put myself out a little bit more. Because I'm not going to get the answers. And I have been told that I can actually see the spirits, but I have a block. And I feel like I'm hitting a wall now, and I have to break through that wall. But I think just past traumas and things, and being scared to see them, because I mean, think about it. You're just sitting here eating, right? And we don't know how these spirits are going to come through. What if there's some dude with half a head in the corner? I don't know if I want to emotionally be available for that kind of viewing.
Yeah.
So, but I need to be able to open up myself more, and to break this block that I have. And I think I know what the block is. I just don't know how to break it, because I just don't know. But I will meet someone who will help me. I just don't know who they are yet.
Yeah.
I feel them. I just haven't met them. So.
No, cool. Thank you. Got another question.
Sure.
And it is from Ogata. Have you ever felt that you was talking to a walk-in? I don't know what that means.
Yeah. What is a walk-in? It's a great name, by the way.
Hopefully she'll explain a bit more. I'm guessing
Just
a walk-in is just somebody a spirit that just turns up out of nowhere.
They all just turn up from nowhere on that thing. But I have been doing a reading and had someone interrupt. Reading.
Right. Okay.
So I do get a lot of that, because once you can be in a room with spirits and they pay you no attention.
There you go. A walk-in is someone who's replaced someone's soul. Oh, didn't know that.
I don't know about that. I do know that I have came across, and I've met a few pretty famous TikTokers who their souls are detached. They have no soul.
So do you think, see this next question. So do you know when they say they sell the soul to the devil? Do you, like a lot of famous people, do you believe that that's a thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe, I mean, if you look up, the 27 Club and things like that, I mean, it's just too much. And I have been in instances with some very powerful politicians before that I've done some advising, and things have been said that literally I didn't want to breathe anymore and be in the room. Like, I wanted to get out of there. It was, it was, yes. Somebody stop watching Paw Patrol. But, so, What was I? It was just to the point where it was frightening, and they were offered, like, it doesn't seem to be a contract from what I
Right.
gathered. It seems to be a drink.
Oh.
And I've came across it like almost my whole life.
Yeah.
I was privileged enough to be able to run in some circles I really had no reason to be running in. It just happened to be, this person who knows this person who knows this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you end up in these situations. And with me not drinking or drugging back then, not that I'm a drinking and a drugging now, but
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
In those circles, that was pretty common. And with me being the only one not influenced by that, doing the old apple juice and the shot glass tricks, then I heard things I shouldn't have heard. And it seems to be that, that whole drinking the Kool-Aid thing is more than just talking about that cult. I mean, there seems to be some kind of agreement and some kind of elixir or something that, from what I've gathered, and that's just, from being in the room and picking up on things, it seems to be some kind of liquid.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, water for me, thank you.
Right. Sorry, I just got a message from Nicole. She's had a DNS error. So is it digital network setting?
I wonder if they drove one of those vans around where they kick everybody off the internet. Do y'all have that there?
Not that I know of.
So I didn't even know about it. So I was living in Fort Worth, and it's a pretty concentrated area with apartments and things like that. So every so often the internet would go off, and I was talking to a guy who knew about those kind of things, and he said they have these vans that drive around and they literally block the internet. That way, when you have something like permanently locked in, like it's streaming all the time using up the Wi-Fi and stuff like that, it logs everybody out. So like, there's a lot of time you come home and all your stuff is logged out, and you're like, what happened? Why do I have to put all my posts, why do I have to put all my passwords and stuff back in? And he said this back then it was a van, goes back, kicks everyone off the internet, then turns the internet back on so that the people who are using it will log back in, and then all the useless stuff will be off of the system.
See, I get that every couple of weeks. I just thought it was like when I'm cleaning the stuff off the PC, like getting rid of all the trackers and that. I then have to relog into StreamYard and Facebook and YouTube and all that.
He said
I just thought,
they just do it to kick everybody off so that the only people that come back on are the ones he told me. Now this is just hearsay, but he said it's because they just cannot handle the influx. So if you kick off all the ones that are just permanently, using up internet to where the ones who are currently using it, log back in, then it cleans up the system and everybody gets faster speeds. And
right.
So that made sense.
Yeah.
But, I have no proof. It was just hearsay, but it made sense. So why not?
Well, that's it. So I'm just going to send a link to come on as a guest. That might work.
Yeah.
Oh, she's here. It's all right. It's all good. Yeah. I said to her the other day, it's the FBI or the CIA or both of them.
Right.
Right. They don't like the truths. Nicole was about to say something legit, and they're like, no, she's not.
I know. It's like you were talking about, like, and they're always listening to us. And then all of a sudden, I got booted, and I sent Andy the error that I was getting.
DNS error.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. They always are. It's to a point. I honestly think on another show, I don't remember the question, but they're like, do you think they're listening or something like that? I'm like, of course they are. And they're like, well, why? This alien thing came out and now they're trying to see. I said, they're watching all of us to see how much they know, to see how much to release. They're going to watch us for about 6 or 8 months. And then they're going to take all of their data and say like, okay, well, they know up to this point. Well, let's give them up to, this point. But we're not going to give out anything they don't already know.
Yeah. Oh, the domain name system, not digital network setting. Mine's easier to say, but Yeah, I don't
Domain
know.
name system. I don't know. That was weird.
Strange.
But I'm back. They let me
I
back
don't
in,
know.
I guess.
Yeah, so it's all good. I was going to say something and it's gone. No,
Nope.
no.
It's gone.
I had a question and everything and
Oh man, I love questions.
thrown out completely.
I love sharing my useless thoughts and knowledge.
So, when you do the mediumship,
Yes.
do you ever get anyone coming through to you, like the spirit side, that's non-English speaking?
Yes.
Are you able to translate it? Do you ever understand what they're saying and it's just there?
No.
Or you're like, not got a clue?
So I met a guy at a bar. That's the beginning of all jokes, right? I met a guy at a bar and I took his number because he said, I think I have gifts. Could you talk to me so that will you share your knowledge? I'm always going to share whatever I know. I'm going to give to anybody because people gave me my knowledge. So I said, sure. I'm going to take his number. I called him and I said, listen, I don't know what is going on in my brain, but I said, I'm going to tell you some sounds.
Right.
See if this sounds right. So his grandmother, I think, was Slavic. And
Right.
that's an interesting dialect. And so I'm saying these words and spitting a lot on myself, trying to say,
Yeah.
and he's like, all of a sudden this man starts crying. Like he's just open air weeping on the phone. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no. My grandmother used to say that to me. And it was something like calling him her little bear or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that makes sense. I'm feeling a very feminine. Well, I had told him prior to that, I'm feeling a very feminine vibe, but I'm coming up with this gibberish in my head. And I said, I'm just going to say these sounds and tell me. And then after he got himself together, I had spoken whatever Slav. I don't know what the language is, but yeah, I had, and it was like old world kind of stuff. She was
Right.
never left her village, like 12th generation villager, and
yeah.
But she, they would go there every year, and that's what she would call him, and that was the only time that came through. Now I do hear sometimes in not chatter, because chatter never is words to me. Like that's a big difference. I hear people talk about, oh, they said this in the spirit chatter. That's not how my spirit chatter is. My spirit chatter is like you live in a really crappy apartment and the walls are powder thin and you can hear people's whole worlds above you and to the side of you, but you can never make out, and it drives you mad because you can't ever make out what it says. That's so different than the spirit talk to me. Like the chatter is literally like I'm living in a bad apartment complex.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've heard that, but when I've been out investigating.
Oh yeah, spirit chatter.
Yeah.
Where you can barely
like
hear it, you can hear something.
Yeah. See, it's like two people having a conversation, but you can never make out what they're saying. You can't even tell what language it is. It's just it's strange. Yeah.
Yep.
Matt, Allison, go outside with Uncle Bubba.
See, that freaks me out a bit because it's like, well, why can I hear it now? Why do I not hear it all the time? Do I have to be like fine-tuned into be able to hear it? Or is it because the rest of the time I'm busy doing other stuff and not really concentrating on it? So, I don't know. Right,
I
we've
know.
got
I'll get that
another...
sometimes when it sounds like something like in my house and I can like hear somebody talking like through the basement floor and there's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I rarely hear things. Sorry, I got to find the charger. I rarely hear things below me. It seems to always be like above me or beside me on the spirit chatter. I don't know why, but I rarely have anything below me. Even when I'm at an investigation where I'm upstairs, it's like I don't even register things below me unless it's a vibration. I can still feel vibrations, but I can't I can't really hear sounds and stuff like that.
See, thinking about that, everyone I've had has been like the same level.
Yeah.
It's never been above or below. It's always been either
Really?
right in my ear or a few feet away. Even when I've heard I say people, but something shout my name at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
like
Oh
as
yeah.
clear as day, and that has been like literally the other side of the door or the other side of the wall.
Yeah, that's a
And that
spirit.
freaks me
calling
out.
a name.
Not like that.
Do you think that there's significance to like where you're hearing the voices, if it's like above or on your level?
You know, I've wondered because I don't know. I think everybody calls it the veil or whatever, but I've always called it like it always felt like a membrane to me. That some could penetrate the membrane and then others it was more solidified for them. But sometimes I wonder if the more I learn, like, is the spirit chatter other dimensions? Is that why we can't make it out?
Mm.
You know, is it other worlds? Is it even like there's so much, like it's so multi faceted in so many different directions. It's like, could it be us hearing other worlds? Because I hear televisions, I hear talking, I hear laughing, I hear all of this, but it's just not, I can't pick up the frequency of the words that they're saying. I can only hear the sounds, like, you know, if we're going you know, I'm only hearing that. Am I hearing another language? Is that why my brain can't process it? Is it on another you know, pattern that my brain can't pick up? I mean, what am I hearing? Is it even spirits? You know, is it another realm? Is it, you know, we just don't know. I mean, what is it? Because it doesn't feel like a spirit. Even though it's
No.
called spirit chatter, it doesn't feel like a spirit. It feels like I'm halfway, you know, listening to somebody else's life.
Yeah. So that was the next question. Do you ever feel when you hear this chatter that there's anything like an entity there as well, or is it just the sound of talking?
You mean the audible side or the chatter side?
The chatter side. So when you can hear like the one or two things having a conversation,
Yeah.
you ever feel like there's something there, like it's not all disembodied? Do you ever get a feeling
I
that
don't.
it's a
I
solid form?
If I had to say cut or dry, black or white, I would say it is not actually spirits. It's something else that I'm
Yeah.
picking up on. Like your, you know, your old transistor radio picking up on someone else's conversation. I just can't make out the words. It just does not, to me, it just does not feel like any of the other, the whites, the
No.
black spirits, you know, the actual physically talking to me spirits. It doesn't sound like any of the other types of spirits. It really just feels very different, as if, like I said, like I'm just in an apartment complex hearing some other
Yeah.
being talking. So I call it spirit chatter because that's what it's accepted called, because I have no other name for it. But if I had to do black or white explanation, I would say I don't think it's spirits. I think it's something else. Because when I'm in an investigation, I can hear, like when you hear spirits playing poker in another room, you know
Yeah.
it's spirits playing poker in another room at an old saloon or
Yeah.
whatever. You know this, you know it's a spirit, no doubt. It's a spirit. It's not a human, it's not whatever. It is definitely a spirit. But when I'm hearing this spirit chatter, it does not come off like those two old cowboys playing poker in an old saloon. It doesn't feel that way. It
No.
feels very otherworld
Like,
to me.
and isolated as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very distinctive. It never crosses into anything else. Like sometimes the spirit world will cross into, like, even one time I even had, I just don't like the woods at night, but I was out there. I was being a trooper.
Yeah.
And, you know, I saw a dog turn into something else that turned back into a dog. And before that dog, I thought the dog was a spirit. So, because I was getting complete spirit vibes, I was like, I'm feeling that there. And then it's a dog, and the dog is not acting like a dog. And then it went behind this giant old pine tree, and then it was not a dog anymore. And that was about me where you're like, your soul is running, but your body can't keep up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my soul was already turned the back way and halfway out, but the rest of me was there going, what the F am I seeing? And then, you know, that short distance, 2-3 feet to the next pine tree, then there's the dang dog again. And
Yeah.
that in between thing was like, the whole time you're going, you know, WTF, 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 you know, and you
Yeah.
can't move, you know, but your soul's retreated, but the rest of you just left your skin behind. It's
Yeah,
like,
pretty
go your
much.
own.
Can I ask, what did the dog look like?
It was black. It was a black dog, but I don't think it was the black dog of death.
No. So
But
was it big, medium, little?
like German Shepherd size, but more of a, yeah, just more square head than a German Shepherd would have.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Interesting.
just a boxier. It didn't have the elongated muzzle. It had more of a, like the body of a German Shepherd, but more of a bully face, but not smashed or anything. Just that
Yeah, like
straw
the
jaw.
bulldog.
Like
Yeah.
American bulldog, kind of strong.
Like the pit bull sort of thing.
Yeah, not as stunted though. It had a full muzzle. It was just a boxy muzzle.
So do you think, what do you, oh, can't speak now. What do you believe that was?
Considering the location that I was at,
Yeah.
I would say it was probably in Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So,
some kind of spiritual
skinwalker type.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing was, I was horrified because I couldn't identify it, but I don't think I was scared of it.
Right.
I think that if it had came to me in a different, me already being freaked out about the woods, you know, if it had came to me in a different environment to where I was more grounded and wasn't already nervous, if I had seen that, I think I would have been like, you know, what do you have to tell me? You know, what knowledge can I have? But since we were already, and I was creeped out by all the woods, and then I see this, I feel a spirit, so I'm identifying a spirit and thinking, yes, it's a spirit. I'm waiting for the spirity stuff to happen, and then it turns, you know, and then it's a dog, and then my brain's going, no, because I don't.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. I don't pick up ghosts, animals. I mean, cats, yes, I can feel a cat watching me, but I think that's just a gut going, you're about to be murdered. But you know, other than that, like, I'm not picking up. So then I'm kind of like paying attention over here, like, where's the spirit? But then I realized that I was feeling the spirit moving with the dog.
Right. Yeah.
So you know, it wasn't still over here. It was going where the thing was going, and I was, like I said, I don't think I would have handled it as. I don't think my soul would have left my body quite as quick if it had been in a different circumstance.
So I was just going to say, did it interact with you?
No.
Nothing. Like,
it was
wasn't there.
An echo.
Yeah.
I don't even think it knew I was there. I mean, but I do have that. I've been told by other people who have abilities that when I'm actually in that zone, that my vibration goes down to very little. That that a stealthy was one, which is funny considering I literally as clumsy as a drunk gazelle. So that never would have thought that, but it's just that I link into it, and I don't know. So I don't know if he was an echo of that used to be there, or if he just, I'm just a human. I mean, if he has no purpose for me, why would he care that I was there? It feels like a very human trait to care what the other one is doing.
Yeah.
You know, to be nosy. I feel like a lot of spirits, once they're gone, their priorities have completely shifted. I do still think there's petty spirits, but I think the majority of people, they're just like, that's not my priority anymore. I'm just doing my thing.
And also, I wonder if they could perceive so many things, you know, on the other side that we can't.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, we're one of maybe 50 things that are, you know, in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
I could definitely.
Spirits, elementals. different dimensions.
I think
Yeah, I never thought of that.
you asked earlier about, I don't remember what you asked, but I have an answer for whatever you asked that I can't remember what you asked, but I have an answer for it. So
That's fine.
I don't know.
Say the
So I'm just
answer,
going
we'll
to
figure
say
out the
this. I'm
question.
just going
Just
to answer this
give us the
question.
answer and I'll guess the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but I feel like I need to say this. I think my biggest goal right now is that I would like to know about me, like I tell people about them, because I
Yeah.
can't read myself. And I found very few people who can tell me anything about me. So I would actually, my goal is to actually find somebody, and I'm not talking like, 5 cents a minute or whatever, somebody in passing that can say, this is this and this and this and this, because there's so many puzzle pieces missing in my puzzle that I
Yeah.
need, because I'm hitting this wall now to where I'm still developing, but it's such microscopic development that the big one is just on the other side of this very fragile fabric. And I need to know, I need to know more that I don't know about myself that another would see. But a lot of mediums that I come across, they're like, we know you got a lot of spirit guides, but that's all I can get off of you. So I need someone who's even more powerful than that. And once you start getting into the people who are that powerful, I can't touch them. I can't go pay $300-400 an hour to get a reading on the people who are actually out there that are there. I'm sure there's people who don't do that are out there and can tell me. It's just the fact that I don't run in the circles with people who are that confident and that. I mean, I do run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying my people are confident. I'm just saying most people either won't read me or can't read me to the extent that I need them to. I need it to be broke down and said this, and this.
See, there's somebody, when you said that, there's somebody that immediately came to mind for me.
Really?
I'll have to message you later and give you the name, because I don't want to like put everything on blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll message you later, because somebody immediately popped into my head when you started
That's
talking
great.
about that.
Because usually people are just like, no. And I know I'm supposed to meet a person. I almost feel like they have dark hair. For some reason, dark hair. And a lot of times I think about Louisiana, but I don't know why. I just discovered somebody. But I would love to meet your human. So I'm assuming they're human. Or maybe is that
I mean, I'm assuming they are
now
too.
to say that they are human. I would like
Don't assume my species.
I would like to meet your figure of a whatever.
I'm assuming she's human. I mean, that's my best guess.
Yeah. We sit around sometimes just laughing, like, what would you do if this walks up? I'm like, I would do nothing. I would be like, sit down. Let's light a fire. I got so many questions.
Right?
Like even a vampire, I'm like, can you wait just a second before you either kill me or suck my blood? I've got so many questions. Like, how does the tubes work? Like, how does it work? How do you process the blood? Like, I just got to break down the real stuff, the science part.
Yeah, I want to know the physiology.
Yes.
Of human beings. Like, how do you exist? Not why do you exist. We don't need to get existential, just how.
Yes, because they say humans can't drink blood, but if you look back throughout time with rituals, they did drink human blood.
Yep.
I mean, so you can't say you're going to drink human blood and then you're going to kill over, because throughout rituals, throughout time, I mean, the sacrifices happened of humans. So I want to know what happened. Not that I want to go out and like eat people or drink blood or any nastiness. I don't need to hardly eat meat. But, I just want to know about it. I want to know, what did they erase? What are they not letting us know anymore for control? That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Got a couple more questions.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you one before we do the last two.
Okay.
So my question is, do you think that we can change our vibration without knowing about it?
I think that sometimes our vibration changes by our emotion.
Yeah.
Because some people most people that I'm around all the time, I can tell when they're a little extra spicy because they're their vibration is kind of pokey, like an allergy test, or kind of pricky. And
Yeah.
they're really calm, it's just waves. Or, if they're really chaotic, it's kind of like just little spits of, vibration. So yeah, I don't think that you can change your core.
No.
I think that you are how you are, and you can pretend all you want, and you can grow all you want, but I think that you can change yourself with knowledge.
Yeah.
But maybe within that your vibration will develop. But
Yeah.
I think a core vibration pattern is set in you from day one, maybe throughout lifetimes, because there's always a baseline. Just like in music, there's always a baseline, and then you add to the baseline. And I think our vibrations are the same way.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question is from Joanne. Do you want to read it, Nicole?
Yeah. So Joanne
You go.
said, do you think it's possible for mediums to do readings over the phone, or has it got to be in person?
No, definitely over the phone. I've done them. I do them every week. Yeah, I think that if you can link in with the person that you've got on the other line, then yes. But I think that I don't think that you can do a phone link in if the person's not being honest or open. I think if they're coming in with walls and they're lying, I don't think that you can link in. But if they're coming in open, then yes, I absolutely think you can. But I don't think you can do it in writing. I think it has to be, you have to hear them. I think it's very important that you hear their voice. I mean, it's just really important. Yeah.
Cool. Right, and the last question. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, that was it.
Oh, right, sorry. He's from Dogman UK, and he's asking, have you communicated with orbs? Please, can you answer?
I don't know if I have. I am kind of an orb snob. Half of the orbs that people call orbs, I don't think are orbs at all. It's just light reflections or bugs or whatever. And if I link into the orb, I don't know if that orb is the spirit that's talking to me. I don't have any way to know if the orb that I did see go by on the camera is the one that's been talking to me. I almost think that maybe the orbs are watchers. To me, they don't feel like, the orbs don't feel to me like spirits. They feel like their own thing. So I almost feels like they're just curious to see what's going on, at least in all the experiences I've had so far. But I'm very particular about orbs. Like, maybe 10% of what everyone says is an orb do I actually think is an orb. Yeah, I don't think they're as common as everybody thinks.
Yeah, when we're investigating, I feel like when we get an orb picture, it has to be in some kind of context. Like, okay, we got a communication, and then this orb came out.
Yeah.
Or it behaved in a way that's not usual.
And do you guys, like, when I'm going into the investigation, I tell them I want no air fresheners going. I want no fans going. I don't, because those Renews It things or whatever, they spray when they want. And then they spray out, and then it catches the light, or it collects dust on its way out, or whatever. And I don't want anything sprayed. I don't want any perfumes, which me, the perfumes or sprays or whatever will mess, because I also smell things. So in the investigation, so I have to have all of that. But I think a lot of times they don't take into consideration that is someone walking upstairs, dust in old places is big. It's not like powder skin like we have. It's years and years of moisture and skin and dust, other kinds of stuff sticking together and floating around. So
yeah,
for
so
sure.
I don't know if the orbs are the spirits, but to me the orbs feel very different from spirits, or at least the spirits that are coming through to me. So I don't have a total answer for that.
Well, cheers. No, most of my investigations are outside anyway, so could be anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But that was fun. This is your fun.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's gone too quick again.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe it's 2 hours already.
I know.
I'm pretty sure my son and grandson are well aware it's been 2 hours. But
they're letting you know.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for coming on, because you were supposed to come on ages ago, but it just didn't happen. And we sorted it anyway, so it's all good.
But yeah, send me the information on that other one. I'll pop in on you guys.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds fun.
That's what it was, Andy.
Yeah.
She was just waiting for me to come on.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's where it was.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the story you're sticking with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So next week we have on Wednesday Paul Bartholomew coming on. He's a ufologist, cryptozoologist, and everything elseologist. So he's on Wednesday. I'm also doing a pre-record with Chris Evers on Wednesday afternoon. That will be going out between Christmas and New Year. That's about his new book. I'll just show you quickly. Shameless plug. And it's called The Shape of Things to Come from Elsewhere. So that'll give me a chance to actually read it. I've still not opened it yet. It'll go mad. But yeah. So I'm doing a pre-record for that on then. So next Friday is a Christmas special.
Ooh.
So, and we know what's going on, but nobody else does. So it's all good. So it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny.
How fun.
That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to be, Nicole knows, but I'm going to be getting that tomorrow. There's a store near me that, so yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so we're doing that on the 22nd, and then there's nothing until the 29th, because obviously between Christmas and New Year and time off work and what have you. So yeah, it's all that. But on Sunday, this Sunday the 17th, I am on Alex Lovelock's show, the Lounge. It's on at 7:00 UK time, so that'll be 2 p.m. your time, Nicole, and 1 p.m. Texas time.
That's right.
Well,
I'm getting there with the times.
right, it's hard.
He's getting Texas versed pretty quick.
Yeah, so I'm doing that on there, and then just quickly going into the new year, we've got guests all the way through Wednesdays and Fridays up until the end of February.
Nice.
And then we're kind of like changing it around a little bit. We're still going to have guests on, but then we're going to be doing the guests for the members only for tier 2 and tier 3. So that's going to be once a month on the Wednesday, but that's going to take a little bit of planning. We're just going to be doing a few little different things, still keeping it paranormal, but just shaking it up and putting a bit of spice to it. That's it, really.
Good.
We like spice.
Yeah.
Spice is nice.
Yes, it's always good. So yeah, so that's it. So that's what we've got coming up over the next few weeks. Anything either of you want to add before we finish?
I think I'm good. I don't have anything with the holidays. It's kind of stunted everything. So
yeah.
Full Moon's next couple events are sold out. The next one we have coming up is in March at the Shanley Hotel. It's a haunted doll investigation.
Oh no.
Haunted doll.
Jamie wants to go.
No, thank you.
No, she'll go in hiding. You'll never find her.
No way. My soul will be back in Texas, and my body will still be frozen, sitting in front of the dolls, looking at me. I'm like, look at me.
And we actually from Paranormal Caught on Camera, from To the Collector. He's going to be our guest at our investigation in April. So if anybody's local to Pennsylvania, check it out.
I'll be in PA next week, I think.
Nice.
Hopefully.
There you go. Book your place while you're there.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to end this now because we're well over the 2 hours. So thank you, Michelle, for coming on. Thank you, Nicole, for
brightening your life.
Not getting arrested by Men in Black or whoever it was that disconnected your internet server. I don't know.
That is weird.
I don't know.
Yeah. So if you're not busy on Sunday, you can join me on Alex's show. If not, next Wednesday at 8:00, where I'll be joined by Nicole. Yes. Yes. Just checking.
Yep. I will be here.
And then next Friday it'll be me, Nicole, and Tommy. So without a guest. So far without a guest, but that might change. Anything can happen.
Ooh, surprise guest.
So
you never know.
Yeah. We'll find out on the night. Right. So have a great weekend, everyone. And speak to you guys soon. Take care and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.